Before I start the video, I'll mainly be talking about anime since that's what I have the most expertise on. Feel free to copy my video idea since I don't know if it's original in the first place. So what exactly is a good series? Is it one that makes you laugh uncontrollably or gives you depression? Is it supposed to be action-packed with zero character building? Or is it supposed to be like Seinen, for example ReZero? While I was thinking about these ideas, I tripped in the shower and hurt my head, which is probably why I'm writing the script right now. So while I can still focus on the script, let's go over what makes any series any good. First off, I think that the environment you live in plays a massive role in deciding whether a show is good or not. A child watching The Boss Baby might think of it as the greatest movie ever made, while anyone over the age of 14 would agree that A Silent Voice should have won an Oscar. If I watch an anime at night, my opinion of it is already better than it should have been. Case in point, Cautious Hero. While it was a pretty solid 6 out of 10 show, I watched the final episodes of Cautious Hero at around 1 AM, due to which they just hit different. I experienced a lot more emotions than I would have if I wasn't by myself. While the ending was the usual cliche happy ending, it almost felt deserved, which propelled it to a 7 out of 10. Sometimes experience is also important when watching shows, especially anime. I watched the entire Fate series when I was relatively new to anime, and now after rewatching it, I can sort of begin to appreciate the legacy that a gacha game has created. After seeing Berserk 2017 or Exam, you begin to really appreciate the care that studios like Ufotable put into the use of CGI. Holy shit, is that rotoscoping? In drawn animation? I'm not gonna say that the story doesn't matter. Of course it does. It's not like I'm gonna put Sword Art Online above ReZero or Naruto above Jujutsu Kaisen. That wouldn't make sense. Also, for anime that completely deviate from the source material, it's worth evaluating the anime and manga separately and not group them together as a whole. Taking one of the few 10 out of 10s on my list, ReZero manages to make full use of the medium it's in and has to be a classic in the making. If there's one anime I'd want representing the Isekai era, which is the 2010s to what is going on right now, I don't think there'd be a better contender than ReZero. All characters are fully developed and fleshed out with their own strengths and weaknesses and their own sets of morals. A rat in the show probably has more character development than some real people out there. Good writing can make an anime almost invulnerable to the test of time. Another thing that a lot of shows seem to forget the importance of is the amount of hype you build up. Game of Thrones had massive hype when it was nearing its final season, and the disappointing ending meant that it fizzled out as just another show. On the other hand, a series like Attack on Titan built up massive hype for the final season, and while the adaptation quality was, let's say suboptimal, the plot carried the story forward massively. Even now, everyone is hyped for part 2 of the final season. So basically, hype can be pretty good, just don't become Cyberpunk 2077. The way you try things with a series can also be what makes or breaks it. Land of the Lustrous, while having a plot that was nothing special, was one of the actual decent CGI anime that used the medium how it's supposed to be used and not just as a time-saving measure. Redo of a Healer, while having an absolutely abhorrent plot that I'm gonna have to censor for the entire video, managed to garner attention because it did what no one else was degenerate enough to do. And before I get the flood of comments saying that other manga are worse, at least they don't have anime adaptations. Konosuba was popular because it did something original and parodied a popular trope while being actually funny. JoJo is the multicultural phenomenon it is because the way it did everything different to the point of people not even considering it an anime anymore. Basically, the way that the current audiences work, you have to do something completely out of the ordinary to be extraneous to the point of stupidity to be noticed among the sea of generic shows coming out every month. Finally, the most important thing is the kind of viewer the show wants to appeal to. If it wants to appeal to isekai trash viewers, the show doesn't need to have good writing. Just throw in a couple of hot waifus and you're good to go. If the show is seinen, the writing needs to be at least half decent, and if all else fails, all reliable. If a series is supposed to convey grim or gruesome themes, then the writing needs to be absolutely impeccable. Berserk, the manga, does this beautifully, while something like Game of Thrones would have done so if the ending wasn't so shit. If the show wants to appeal to everyone, it simply can't. There is no way to do so. What I'm saying is, to someone like me who appreciates some seinen or high production shonen, something like Sword Art Online is probably shit. But to the less snobberish people among us, it might prove to be a good watch. So at the end of the day, all that matters is whether you consider yourself a connoisseur of content or a fan of trash.